Here's what's cooking on today's Sports Stove Local Hour. We're in the mobile studio, so you know everything's going to be awesome. We're talking EKU football. Of course, Ryan's here, and we've got Ethan Bednarczyk on the show as well. We're also going to talk some wonderful feats by the EKU women's basketball team as well. That's what's cooking on today's Sports Stove Local Hour. And we've even got the wrong graphics up. It's okay. We'll get it all fixed here in just a moment. But welcome into this fun and crazy show today. And I'm your host, Vince Stover, joined by my co-host, Ryan Rhino Jackson. How you doing, man?
Doing all right today.
Well, let's talk about this weekend. Senior day, everything went as planned, right? I mean, the win is ultimately what was the most important thing, and you guys were able to capture that. So talk about the atmosphere, both in the locker room and on the field, that you felt compared to maybe your past seasons here.
It was a little bit different of a vibe around the locker room. I would say it was more like we were playing like we have nothing else to lose. Like we were about to give it our all for this one, and if it was our last time playing together, we were going to put it all out on the field, and I think that's kind of what we showed in the game. That we, even despite the season that we've had, we still put our best foot forward and still put on a show. We finally got a good win under our belt, and it was good to send the seniors off with a win. Unfortunately, the season didn't go the way we all pictured it, but it was definitely good to see everybody smile one more time.
Now, Braden Sloan had himself a day, and we saw it all year, right? That run game really came through this year in a way that probably in the last 2 years, especially, you guys have really been looking for.
Right. Yeah. Braden and Josh, they're a crazy running back duo for us, and it's really a testament to how hard our O-line's been working this season. And we were even down an O-lineman for this game, my roommate Vincent Munlin. But it's really a testament to how hard they've all worked together in practice. B. Sloan, I tell him every single game, if you get the ball, bro, go score, because you got the talent to do that. And he finally outran everybody, and it was great to see. Like, it's cool to see all that start to come together, because in my past couple seasons, this is one of the first seasons where it seems like we got to consistently run the ball really good all season.
What about Jeremiah Bailey? This is a kid we talked about this summer. You've been hyping up, and we've had him on the show, all that kind of stuff. To cap it off, and you talked about his athleticism when he was on with us earlier this year. We got to see that speed in full force this weekend. So not just Jeremiah. As a whole, though, that D-line, the room that you're in, performed well this weekend.
Right, yeah. We had a heck of a week. I think we held them to, 48 rushing yards, something like that, against one of the bigger offensive lines we've ever really played against. So it was good. We worked hard this week as a D-line, and we really wanted to finish off the season and finish off like that. We were one of the more dominant fronts in the conference, or hopefully that's what we get recognized as. And for Jeremiah, I told y'all, he can run. He's a stupid good athlete now. He almost let the quarterback kind of catch him, but on the film, it looks like he got a little bit more separation. I really don't know how the play happened until I just saw him take off, because I was in my own little rush. But when you watch it back, Maddox Marcellus, another one of our freshmen, came in clutch, stripped the ball, caused the fumble, or strip sack, I think is what they called it. Jeremiah scoops it up, takes off, and it was just awesome, because it's all the moments that we wish we could have had earlier in the season, all the plays we wish we could have made throughout the entire year. But it's great when they happen. And I told him he was tired. That's why he had to stand there. He couldn't really celebrate. But
I liked the celebration, man. I liked it a lot. What about Pat Nations? He comes out. He has a solid performance. He gets some recognition this week as well from the UAC. And, we talked about Jeremy Edwards a couple times this year. We hadn't really talked about Patrick a whole lot, but he had a heck of a game this weekend also.
Yeah, the best thing about Pat, once he starts off hot during the season, and he cooled off a little bit, had his struggles, and he just put his head down and started working again and started working his craft. You could see he came after practice a little bit, trying to fix how he was kicking, and he even brought all the field goal guys together. And he sat us down and said he's going to start making them. He's going to stop all this missing and costing the team. And he was serious, and he's been proving it these past couple weeks. And we trust Pat 100%. We think he can make any field goal. That's why you see we're all just, instead of looking off to the sideline when he misses, we're all dapping Pat up. We love Pat, and I'm happy that he's starting to get back into his groove again with making them consistently. But I tell him every week he gets the little special team player of the week. I said it really should go to us because we're taking the beating for you to make all those. Because oh my goodness, like you should see the pressure. The player of the game goes to either Peyton Collins or Chevy because they be taking a beating next to me. I don't know how they make it.
Parker, of course, there's a lot of talk because of how long he's been around. He holds all the records. He's been such a stable force for you guys over the years, and now he's played his last game as a Colonel. I mean, what does that mean for this program?
Losing Parker means a lot for the program. Not just as a football player, but as a teammate, as a captain, as a leader around here. Parker had an undying will to win, and he's the ultimate competitor in everything he did. And he was just the chillest, nonchalant guy you'll ever meet. He was just cool. He was fun to be around, and we're losing a great person around the university and a funny guy. But whoever picks him up or whoever gives him a chance is getting one heck of a person. And I can't attest to him as much on the football field because that's obvious. His talent's obvious, but what he brings to a locker room and a community is special.
For sure. Okay, so I'm in my mobile studio. I just pulled up to my real life studio. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to try to make this work. And if we can take a break, we're going to take a break. And then when we come back, we'll introduce what else we got going on in the program. So I'm going to run inside. Until then, here's a word from IPM Pest and Termite.
With over 20 years of experience, Matt Schaefer and the good folks at locally owned IPM Pest and Termite provides pest control service for all of Central Kentucky's pest control needs. Whether you have a current pest control problem or want to prevent infestation from ever entering your home, IPM Pest and Termite offers maintenance programs that will help keep pests out of your home and provide peace of mind. So for dependable, reliable services that you can count on, get in touch with our good friend Matt Schaefer and IPM Pest and Termite today at myipm.com. That's myipm.com.
Does the exterior of your home need a facelift? All Around Roofing has you covered. All Around Roofing is a locally owned company servicing Madison County and all of Central Kentucky. From roof repairs and replacements to gutters, siding, windows, soffits, chimney flashings, and more. All Around Roofing provides quality work and friendly service that will leave your house looking great. Call today, 859-489-5179 to get a free quote. That's 859-489-5179. We can handle your all-around exterior needs at All Around Roofing.
All right, welcome back into the Sports Stove Local Hour. I am almost where I need to be. Ryan, I'll tell you what, I didn't give you a warning on this, but give us a good intro for our guest today.
Okay. Today we have senior receiver, Ethan Bednarczyk. EB, how you doing?
What's up, guys?
You have entered one of the weirdest shows I've ever hosted today, Ethan, but we sure appreciate you taking time to be with us today.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys having me.
Listen, first of all, I apologize for the unprofessional manner in which we brought you on today. Not Ryan, me, the unprofessional way I brought you on today. And I appreciate your patience with the whole process as well. But hey, first of all, congrats on a career at EKU, man. Tell us your experience. What is when you try to encapsulate what this year and what your career here has been like? How would you define it?
Yeah, I'd say I've had a great 4 seasons as a Colonel. I came in COVID year with Ryan I came in as a walk-on, and I didn't know what to expect really. We had a few receivers opt out that year, which helped me out a lot in the long run. Looking back at it, I kind of got to jump in quick. As most walk-ons don't usually get to jump in quick to the systems, but and we had 7 receivers that year. So I mean, I from the get-go, I was thrown into the jungle of things, but, um, I've enjoyed all 4 years here, and, it's really been awesome to, make friends that I'll have for a lifetime and, just have great teammates all around me, and, it's an experience that I don't regret anything about.
Now, talk about that walk-on experience. And did you know when you were coming here that there were only 7 receivers, or is that something you found out once you got here?
Yeah, so when I got here, there's probably around 10 to 12 receivers when I got here, but, 3 main guys ended up opting out, who were already in the rotation the year before. So it bumped down to around 7. Some guys, Davion Ross that year, he got moved to DB, um, and then some guys just quit all out. And so like at the beginning of the season against played Marshall first game, we went into that game with uh, 3 freshmen, me, Bryant Johnson, a guy Micah Manning, and 4 older guys, and Jackson Bierman, Keon Dixon, Matt Wilcox, and Jacquez Jones, and those were the 7 that traveled, and so, no, I didn't know I didn't know coming into it was gonna be like that, but I am grateful for that experience.
Now, you brought up a name from the past, Davion Ross, and I remember talking to Davion about his move to cornerback, and he's like, "Man, I was not happy." And it's like, it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to him at the end of the day. So let me ask it this way, EB: if you had to switch positions, which position would you switch to?
Which position would I switch to? I would probably wanna switch to quarterback or running back. I played running back growing up. Defense, there's a lot of pressure, and yeah, Ryan knows that the most. Like DB, I don't have the hips for DB to be a DB, and there's a lot of pressure on the defensive side of things. So I think I would want to stay on the offensive side.
The offense is where all the money is, man.
That's right.
So that's where you got to be, right, Ryan? Yeah, we know that. So your time then has been with Parker, right, the whole time. He's about my age, 40 years old. He's got all the records in part because of you, of course. We brought you on to talk to you about you, but we got to ask about Parker. What has he meant to you in your time playing with him?
Yeah, Parker. We like our friendship. We really didn't start becoming close until this past spring. But he's like Ryan said earlier, he's just a great dude to be around. So chill, so down to earth, I would say. And off the field, he's just as good as he is as a person that he is as a player on the field. But yeah, it's been an honor to be a teammate of his over these past 4 years.
Was there ever a time where you're like, why do we still have this guy? Like, come on, let's give somebody else a chance, man.
No, I mean if he was not performing like he has been, then maybe. But I've enjoyed having him all 6 years that he's been here. Really.
What about the other guys in your room? You talked about some of the guys that you came in with, that were here when you came in. Wilcox being one of those guys that was a valuable piece here. This year, so much depth at wide receiver. There was one game where I believe 11 different wide receivers got on the field. And that was early in the season, so they were still trying to figure some things out. But the depth that you guys had in that room this year, I mean, how did that help push you guys?
Yeah, I would say it's the deepest room we've had in all 4 years that I've been here, and it's probably the closest room we've had like, as a bond. I would say. Um, Everybody on that travel roster, and even the guys on the scout team, we just all loved each other and all loved seeing each other have success. And, you mentioned that game where 11 guys got in the receiver room. I mean, that's just, that just goes to show how hard we worked in camp and, um, how we do push each other. And, um, I would say this was the first year that there was no, like, negative attitudes to something like that happening. You go to a school and if, you know, not a lot of schools rotate in the receiver room like we do, where we rotate pretty much every drive except, Jaden Smith, he was in every drive. But, when people rotate in, it's always dap ups, fist bumps, like go get the play. Like it's like go do your thing. So I mean, it was a great year, and it was great having everybody in the receiver room this year.
All right, Rhino. I know you've been preparing for this. Oh, there he's back. All right. Rhino's been preparing to have you on the show for a while now, EB. And so I know he's got some deep philosophical question for you. Ryan, what do you got for EB?
No deep philosophical question. But don't let EB fool you. He can definitely play defense. He can definitely play safety. He's one of the toughest guys on the team. And the thing I love about EB, the only thing me and him really got is like stories. Like I feel like we have just stories of back in the day, but there's one where he bust up his nose in camp, and I would love EB to enlighten because that's one of my favorite Wells quotes with EB involved.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was this past spring, fourth quarters. We were out there after all the mat drills. We have like a mini practice after with tennis balls, and we were out there going offense, defense. No pads, no helmets, but we were full on blocking like we should, And I was out there blocking our new transfer linebacker, Bubba, number 7. And, I was out there blocking, his elbow came across, busted me in the nose, and I thought my nose fell off for a second. It was the worst pain that I've ever experienced, just so quick. And I look down, my hands are just covered in blood. And, so I sit out the next probably like 15 plays, and then we have a little conditioning period afterwards. And I put some gauze in my nose or whatever. I hop back in the conditioning period. And when Wells gathers himself at the end to break us down, really, he said "This is what we need on the team. This is toughness." And that's what Wells was preaching all spring, all summer, all year. He was really preaching toughness. So I think he was excited that he had an example like that this past spring.
This is one of the first couple of days. EB has this cracked up nose, and Coach Wells is like, "This is what I expect," and we're like, "What?"
For clarification for the listeners, you may already know Albert Nunez, Bubba. And just to clarify that, because you said number 7, I was like, I know who number 7 is, but I don't know who Bubba is. And so, yes, Albert Nunez, for clarification for anyone listening that didn't already know that. How long did it take the nose to heal up?
I mean, it was tender for 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I thought I broke it, and but it was all good. I was really scared for a couple days I was gonna have to get surgery, but no, it took a good month for me to like have no pain in it.
Yeah. Yeah. And didn't affect your social game at all?
Yeah, no, not at all.
What's your favorite experience? Let's go game wise. Your favorite game that you played over your time.
I would say there's a couple, always when we play those bigger schools, FBS, Power 5 schools, those are always cool experiences. I'm from Louisville, so it was really cool playing Louisville our sophomore year, and I had a catch in that game, which was really cool in front of my friends and family. Kentucky was really cool this year. It was cool hanging around with them and till the fourth quarter, and that was probably Louisville had a good crowd sophomore year, but Kentucky, it felt like it was almost sold out. Like that crowd was amazing that game, and it was really cool. I would probably say Kentucky was my favorite all around experience.
Growing up in Louisville, what was your dream school? Was it Louisville? Like end of the day?
So dream school, I always try to be realistic with myself,
Okay.
and I didn't think I was Power 5, so my dream school was actually Western Kentucky University 'cause, I love the campus there. My sister Hope, she, went there for 4 years and graduated, and so that was, all through kinda 8th grade through senior year, I was really hoping to go to WKU, but things didn't fall into place, and, I ended up here, which I'm beyond grateful that I ended up here over, WKU, actually.
No regrets.
No regrets at all.
Now your last name is it's intriguing to say the least. How long did it take you in life to learn how to spell Bednarczyk?
Um, it probably took, like, 1st or 2nd grade. I was like, honestly, it's a tough one. It's Polish, and, I remember, growing up, every time I went to the doctor's office, every time, like, I'd meet somebody new in my grade school classes, they'd look at me like I have 3, 4 eyes. Yeah, it is an intriguing one, but, I'm happy to have such a unique name.
Is there a was there ever a misspelling on a jersey?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, misspelling on jerseys, write-ups all the time.
yeah.
So common.
I tell you, when I put out the graphic this morning for the show tonight, I double checked, triple checked, made sure I had it right, make sure that I was
That's
spelling
awesome.
correctly. I was worried about it for sure. Rhino, what else you got for EB?
I've been asking a lot of players this question. If you could be a car, what type of car would you be?
I'm a big Mercedes guy, and I like the big Mercedes emblem that they always have on their cars. So, you know, I'd probably put myself as, like, a Mercedes AMG. That's what I would love to be.
Tell us about a young receiver that's in the room right now that maybe next year or the year after, all EKU fans are going to know really well. You can't. It's got to be one of the young guys. It can't be, Jado.
Yeah, I would probably say when you say young guy, the first one that comes to my head is Jacob Dixon. He got, some playing time in the first couple games this year, um, but, I know a lot of the coaches are hoping that he's really the next Jaden Higgins. He's
Mhm.
6'5", can go up and get it, super athletic, uh, long stride. He's one of those guys that I've really gotten close with over this year, and, he's another Louisville guy from PRP. Um, but I think as he grows into his role, gets a spring under his belt, continues to work hard, he's gonna be somebody that is gonna contribute a lot over these next couple of years.
Yeah, he's a ridiculously tall kid. That would be great. Higgins, had a phenomenal year last year, of course. I haven't checked his stats this year to see what he's done this year. I should have done that. But nonetheless, that'd be exciting to see as well. Give us your thoughts on Cam Hergott, who currently would be the leader for the starting job next year. Of course, there's a long way to go before that time comes. And the day and age of the transfer portal, you never know. But we've asked Ryan about him already. What excites you about Cam Hergott moving from what could be moving forward ahead?
Yeah, Cam is another close buddy of mine. What excites me the most about him is how much of a dual threat guy he is. In high school at Beechwood, won Mr. Football 1 year. I think he has like 4 state championships, so obviously he's a winner. He knows how to win, super athletic, super fast. He's one of the fastest guys on the offense. Um, but, I think as he gets another spring under his belt, uh, continues to learn how to read defenses, I mean, he's gonna be really good for us.
If you had to play offensive line against your current defensive line, who are you wanting to match up against?
Oh,
To
that's
clarify, Ethan is listed at 5'10", 190. Just to clarify this.
yeah, I wouldn't want to go against any of those guys, to be honest. Truthfully, I weighed in at 179 as I left the program today, which I'm trying to cut down at now. But I I think it'd be interesting to go up against Rhino and D-Bake. Those guys are 2020 guys that came with me. We're pretty close with them. They would obviously kill me, but that'd be a
You
fun
like,
experience.
you just chop them, probably. I'm guessing.
That'd be my best thing, my best
Yeah.
bet for me.
That'd be
So Ryan, you or D-Bake, which one would struggle the most with EB?
oh, debate. Debate taller. You're gonna get chopped easy.
Hey, thanks for watching, Steve. Steve fills us in. Higgins, leading receiver for Iowa State this year, 42 catches, 714 yards, 4 touchdowns. So there you go. See, I love our listeners. They're ready to go, helping us fill out some stats along the way. I appreciate that. So EB, what's next, man? What's on the agenda for you?
Yeah, so I am starting my MBA through EKU's online program here in January, and I plan on moving home for a little while, back to Louisville with my dad, just trying to save money a little bit. Start applying for jobs. Um, Probably going into public accounting. That's what it looks like for a little while. That's been my goal for a little while, and just see where that takes me. But before that, I do have a trip to go out west with my girlfriend that we've been trying to plan this semester. So that's in the works right now.
Awesome. Very, very good. Now, sounds like a mean question, but what's the one thing individually in football in your collegiate career that you did not get to do? This doesn't mean winning championships, like your individual thing you didn't get to do that you wish you could have gotten it done.
That is a tough question. I'm not right now. I'm not sure. That's not a mean question at all. I am pretty grateful for everything that I've gotten in my
Yeah.
career, and I think, you know, everything that I have gotten, and I've been blessed to get. If I got to play this year more than all other 3 years combined.
Mm.
Of course, I didn't start, but that was never really a goal of mine. Coming in here, one goal was to get on a scholarship.
Mhm.
That was my one goal coming in freshman year. I was, fortunate enough to do that. Um, but ever since I got on a scholarship, like my main goal is just to be a good teammate, and I think I have done that in my career, and I hope my teammates can say that about me. And sure, I didn't lead the team in receiving yards or receiving touchdowns or starts, but I do hope that I was a good teammate to everybody.
Well, you ended the year 10 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown. What was that touchdown like at Central Arkansas?
It was a great experience. That is something that I wanted. Yeah, I hadn't had a touchdown coming into the season. I did want a touchdown by the end of the year, and to get in the second to last game at the moment in the game, it was really, really cool. And just to have my teammates surround me on the sidelines, just to see how happy they were for me. Um, it was an all around awesome experience.
You had a long reception of 26 yards. That was against Western Carolina, where you had 4 catches, 68 yards total. Central Arkansas, you had a 17-yard catch. SFA, you had a 16-yard catch. SEMO, you had a 10-yard catch. Like, you weren't doing the dunk downs. You're going out there and making things happen with that opportunities that you got as well. You went back-to-back days or weeks with Western Carolina and SEMO, 4 catches and 3 catches. I bet that was pretty exciting to have that expanded role for sure in those 2 games.
Yeah, I remember watching the broadcast of the Western Carolina game at the Sunday after the game, and the announcer, I think it was Greg, but he just kept saying, that's 2 catches for Bednarczyk, that's 3 catches, he's matched his career, it was funny to hear that, and, yeah, it was really cool to have that expanded role this season and, um, feel like I'm really contributing to the team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Coach Ron comments, "A great celebration after the catch at UCA." I don't think I saw the celebration. Was it planned, first of all, and then what was it?
So, it was planned, that was something that, going into the season, uh, that I told myself if I were to score, I'm gonna hit that celebration, and it was something that Jaden Higgins, I think he came up with it. He always did it. I don't think he did it in the game, but, like, in practice and, you know, when when we'd be on video games and stuff, like, him and Jado and B. Sloan, they would always hit it, but, like, so you bend down, you act like your tummy hurts, you're like, "Ooh, my tummy," and then you throw, like, the dirty bird up or something, but it was funny, and I told Jado actually in a team meal on the road at Central Arc, I was like, "Be ready, man, like, I don't know if I'm gonna score today, but, like, if I do end up in the box, like, I want you in there." So he came down right when I scored, and he hit it with me along with some other guys.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Rhino, Ethan said he wanted to be a good teammate. He's the one guy that you told me off camera, horrible teammate. So tell me, no, I'm kidding, of course. You've got him here. I know you get to see him face to face and you see him around and things like that. But I mean, you guys came in together. What can you say about EB?
EV, you were a great teammate. And we've already been talked about that. But the one thing EB has always impressed me with, he is a workaholic. No matter what the day was, no matter what the time was, he always came with a smile. He always got down and he always worked. He always outworked whoever came up next to him too. It didn't matter if he was the biggest, strongest, fastest. Somehow, some way, EB was gonna outwork you. And that's one thing that I've learned from him, and I hope that's related throughout the whole team. And bro, you were a heck of a teammate.
I really appreciate that, Rana.
Any chance, EB, you stick around football at all? Whether it be like high school coaching someday or other things like that?
For right now, I don't see myself coaching. I love the game, and, as much as I love being deeply involved with it, I love watching it too, and, that's something about being a college football player, you don't get to watch it at all, and, that's something I'm excited about over these next few years, just being able to sit back and, now that I know all that goes into college football, all
Mhm.
the hard work it takes, I think I'm gonna really enjoy, watching it more and knowing the process of it all.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that my favorite football team is the Packers, NFL team. And I was named after Vince Lombardi. I've got a son named Brett after Brett Favre. So we're for real fans. And this year's been a fun year teaching experience for me and my kids. I tell them, hey, it's all about the future, right? You're like, well, it's okay. We can lose a few games now, get a good draft pick. It's all good. You're going to have to learn how to settle in and find the positives for some of these things. But but as you go back to watching football and everything like that too. Ryan, anything else for EB?
Yeah, I got one more question. How did
Yeah.
it feel to do senior jog?
To do the senior jog, you said?
Yeah, down the hill.
It's funny because someone asked me, "Were you thinking about tripping?" And that was never a thought until I was halfway down the hill, and, like, we never run down the hill by ourselves. So, I was halfway down the hill, and I was thinking, "Oh, I gotta really focus on not falling." But, it was really cool getting down the hill and, dapping up Coach Wells, getting a picture with him, and then making the jog to, my family who was there escorting me out. It was really cool.
I asked this to somebody, one of our guests recently, but about your support system. Your family was there to greet you like that. And I like to give guys an opportunity, to kind of, I don't know, talk about the support system that you've had throughout your career, growing up, all that kind of stuff, and just thoughts on how that's been helpful to you.
Yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better support system. I mean, my parents growing up, they allowed me to play football from the get-go. My mom was a little weary at first, she wanted me to stick in soccer, but, she finally gave in and let me play football, and, she's been the best football mom I could have ever asked for, and my dad, he's he's made connections, opened doors, to get me to places where, I could have never done it without him. Like, he got me in with trainers who knew people, who knew coaches on EKU staff, and then I got here, and so they've been great. My grandparents, they've loved every second of watching me play. Um, and my sister and girlfriend, they've supported me every step of the way too. It's just been really refreshing to look back on and see how good they have been to me.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Hey, congrats on a fun career. We're glad that you were here and not at Western Kentucky. And we're glad it all worked out that way for sure. Congrats on graduation and good luck moving forward with the masters and job and all that good stuff. And I hope you have a great trip out west. You going like Arizona, California, or northwest?
Yeah, so we're trying to go like the Southwest through Arizona, Nevada, up through California, see Washington a little bit, and make our way through Montana, like kind of like a big loop around.
Yeah, you going to the
Yeah,
Grand Canyon?
that's one of the places we want to go to.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's a place pictures cannot do it justice. It's a beautiful place. You'll enjoy it for sure. So, anyways, hey man, congrats again. Good luck moving forward, and thanks for coming on tonight, man.
I thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's Ethan Bednarczyk, wide receiver, EKU football. There, sure do appreciate him coming on and sticking with us through the studio change there as well. All right, Ryan, let's get into a few other things. First of all, I want to address something I tweeted earlier and give some clarification to. Well, maybe it's not a whole lot of clarification, but I just talked about the rumors that are being thrown out there right now. And Ryan, I don't know if you guys are hearing them or not, and I'm not going to drag you into it by any stretch of the imagination. But I'll tell you what, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be a wild few months at the university. And I'm sure not all of it's true that I'm hearing. And I don't want to even just give up gossip, because if it's not true, there's no reason to spread it through here as well. But I already know, we've talked about and we've talked to different guys throughout the year. There's a lot of love for the university within the locker room and the football program. And I think that there's going to, the expectation is for to see a lot of familiar faces again next year. Obviously, there'll be new faces coming in, and the coaches will take advantage of the portal, and you got the high school kids coming in and all that kind of stuff too. There's been a lot of speculation about the staff and changes, if they will be made, and which ones will be made and things like that. I've not been able to get any confirmation on anything on regards to that stuff. We're going to see some legal stories pop up that have nothing to do with the athletics of the university, but that wouldn't be rare considering the past couple of years either. So I think it's going to be an interesting summer. I'm working to confirm some things. Like I said, I don't want to spread gossip and rumor. But I'll tell you what, some stuff I've heard this week, Ryan, I'm just sitting there going, man, this could be an interesting summer. Needless to say, we'll wait and see what's going on. And my desire has always been to be a traditional sports talk show and give you facts and not be the talking heads that just spit out things to get clicks and things like that. But that being said, Ryan, you guys have completed this year, completed the season. I'm sure you still have some meetings and some different things going on and things like that. One of your teammates has already entered the portal. Jariah Hightower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so he's already entered. Not surprised. I mean, anybody that's not getting much playing time or any playing time is probably going to start looking see what options are out there. Not everybody. We've talked with you about that mindset. We've talked with Jalen Harrod about that mindset. Like, you fight, you work, and you earn that opportunity, right? So you're a team captain. What kind of advice or conversations do you have with guys, especially the young guys that didn't see the field much, if at all, this year?
For young guys that didn't see the field, you have to wait your time and you have to wait your process out. Everybody grows and develops at different times, especially in football. And don't rush your time. Don't rush your clock. Don't get twist it up that coach doesn't like me, coach doesn't rock with me, coach won't play me. It'll come in time with work. But for anybody that wants to either is on the fence about transferring or staying, my only advice would be if you choose to transfer, go somewhere where you feel you'll be loved, go somewhere where you'll find something better, and use the tools you learn from here to exceed your football career, to grow in your football career, to implant something in your new program, implant something and grow and develop something that's yours and make it nice. But for anybody that wants to come back, I hope you come back with a chip on your shoulder, because this was not the season that we wanted. This was not at all what we expected from our own team, and that's something that we will get fixed. But I can't speak on anybody that's either coming, staying, leaving, going. That's their free choice. But as far as I know, I was happy to see all my friends in the 2023 team and the team meeting today for one last time. We got to dap it up. We got to celebrate because we won, and it was a great team event, and it was a lot of fun.
Do you think that next year it'll be a whole different perspective next year, unless you guys bring in some highly touted transfer quarterback that, like, is like, I don't know, somebody Devin Leary or something like that. The expectation from the outside is going to be far lower next year for your team than what it was this year. Of course, this year the expectation was massive from the outside. Inside, the expectation is always the same. You're going to go out, you're going to win. But from the outside, so do you think that playing maybe more of the underdog role next year, the guys that are new this year, that they'll be able to adjust to that? Because this year it's always been you guys were the target pretty much all season long.
I don't know. I know the best thing about our team is that we play to a standard, and that's what you want to always live up to. That's what you always say. But I don't know. I wouldn't feel an underdog role. Like you said, internally we feel like we can win any game we step out there to go play. I don't know how people would feel about being an underdog, actually. But I think the beautiful thing about our conference is every game's competitive. Every team has a target on their back. You've seen how competitive our conference is. I don't think it matters who's the underdog. The top four teams can all compete.
Yeah.
And honestly, from 1 to I think it's 6, can all compete and can all win. And so I don't know. I wouldn't say there wouldn't be an underdog or target back. I think we're just get ready to play again.
Yeah. I look at the guys' basketball team this year, their preseason predictions, their projections and rankings and everything top in the conference. The EKU women, they were supposed to be improved, but they were looked at as about the third best team in the conference by most people. And so they're playing from two different perspectives. EKU guys are playing with the target on their back. EKU women are usually chasing the target. And by the way, they are hitting the target so far this year. And I don't know. I look at it from a coaching perspective, and I think I kind of like playing the underdog role better than the target on my back role. But that being said, I've had that role more often than I've had the role of target on my back. So I guess there's probably a great pride that comes with being that team that everybody's targeting as well, which makes it for a fun year. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what goes on. Man, we got more breaking news. UTU fires their coach today. So there you go. It's starting. Here it comes. But it's going to be fun to see the transition. Now, the biggest thing when you look at football is the quarterback. It's just the way it works. And Parker's gone. And with Parker being gone, someone has to step up, whether it's Cam, whether it's somebody else. And that's going to be the biggest focus from the outside world, at the very least, on your guys' team for next year, and to see how that shakes out. I'm looking forward to spring and summer as we start kind of filling out that roster and seeing who's there, seeing who's all around still. And you didn't lose a whole lot as far as graduation goes. And Coach Wells talked about that several times this year. Yeah, we're losing guys and we're losing important guys, but we're only losing 6 or 7 guys somewhere in that range that had major contributions to the team. And so when you're returning some of these defensive guys, when you're returning some of these offensive guys, you've got a great nucleus, and now it's just plugging those extra pieces in, right?
Right. It's definitely good to keep chemistry amongst people and to keep a team together. Quarterback will definitely be our biggest question mark, obviously, because we're losing ours. But we definitely have a good foundation of a team, and we definitely have a solid group of guys that should come back. And you plug in a couple pieces, we should be right back up.
Yeah. And this year was a great example of waiting your turn and taking your opportunity. Several guys, you included in that. There's going to be opportunities for guys to step up. I mean, you lose your 2 tackles on offense. You lose safety, you lose corner, you lose linebackers, you lose wherever receivers. You're going to, there's opportunity. That's what it means. It doesn't mean like, oh no, we lost people. There's now opportunity. Someone needs to go out, take the bull by the horns, and seize the day and the opportunities that are there. Any other thoughts? We're still going to have a whole episode on breaking down the season, and we're going to bring some more guys on and talk about the football season still. That's the plan, at least here before Christmas. But anything else you want to say football-wise before we switch topics and go to basketball?
No, I think I'm all right.
All right, good. Basketball-wise, the guys play tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, excuse me. I think it's like 2:00 in the afternoon. The guys are playing. They're coming off a tough loss. And so they'll be home. If you're in Richmond, go out, cheer on the guys. If you're in Richmond and you're not working, I'm working, so I won't be there. But nonetheless, I might call it sick. Who knows? We'll see. But I don't think my boss listens to this show. So anyways, but a game tomorrow for the guys. They are fun. They're exciting. They got some new faces as well, that late additions to the team that are going to play some important roles for the team. And man, they're playing the way Coach Hamilton envisions them playing, and defensively, they're everywhere. But I want to talk about EKU women's basketball. Coach Todd, 300th win this past week. Last night they lost, or early this morning they lost to Utah, the number 4 team in the nation, to be the runners up in the Great Alaskan Shootout. And we had on a couple of the girls already this year, and we're going to have on more. I was hoping to get Coach Todd on tonight, but obviously that Alaska trip that wasn't going to work. But we will get Coach Todd on soon, and more of the girls on throughout the year as well. But I just keep saying it, but I'm going to say it again. Man, you got to be there to support these girls. This team is phenomenal. Antoinette Walker, she could be playing almost anywhere. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that. She could be playing almost anywhere. She's a phenomenal ball player. And the pieces that they have put in, they've got the height, they've got the length, they've got the shooting, they've got the defense. They've got it all. And this team is going to be so tough in the conference. I think they win the conference. Now, there's another team in there, one of those Florida teams. I'm trying to remember if it's Florida Gulf Coast or anyway. There is another team that is incredibly good in the conference too. But I think that this EKU team is so complete. And if you watch this staff and you watch the way the girls respond to this staff, you could tell something really special is coming this year. So if you're able to at all, get out and support the girls. And I'm trying to tell this, I don't know how many students watch this show, Ryan, but I'm always disappointed. The student section is bare during those girls' games. And I'm like, someone needs to go on campus and just start. A teacher needs to take their whole class or something. Like, we need to make something happen. But the last game that I was at, there was a decent crowd, actually better than last year's crowds. And I talked to Coach Todd a little bit about it after the game. And so hopefully that keeps on, because these girls, they're so worthy of the attention and worthy of our time for sure. I know you've been busy with football season, so football season's winding down. What is your guys' schedule as far as school? Classes end pretty soon, don't they?
Yeah, school will be over here pretty soon. I think it's December 14th. Schools or grades. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's been hard to keep up.
Yeah, Ryan's so focused on his classes. Hey, that's good that you're not so excited that they're almost done that you know exactly the date and time it ends. So that's
Right.
a positive thing. But I know they're almost done, and that always slows things down a little bit. I've got I meant to get this autographed, and I did not get it done. But I got me a women's basketball poster right there from Alex and the guys over there at helping out with the post game stuff. So. It's got the schedule on here. So let's see here. They beat Evansville. They beat UAB. And they could not take down Utah. So next up is Campbellsville, Harrodsburg. That's on the 25th. And then Simmons College on December 4th. They got 3 straight home games up next. And Miami of Ohio on December 6th, all coming up here shortly. So those are all going to be fun games. Come on out. Get your tickets. They're $5 and sometimes cheaper. So make it happen. Come on out. That's for the community, of course. I think it's free for you guys, isn't it? Students, yeah. So there you go. We're going to work on getting there and continue to support those girls and the guys. I don't mean to knock the guys at all. Really appreciate Coach Hamilton and the guys that come on the show. Coach Hamilton's been a real friend of the show, as well as Coach Todd. So there that is. Volleyball wrapped up their season. Tough loss in the opening round of the ASUN tournament, but a phenomenal year again for them. I'm not up to date on everything going on with the cross countries and the tracks and all that kind of stuff. I apologize. But nonetheless, we got a lot still planned for the rest of the year. Of course, our focus will turn and shift towards basketball for a while. And of course, baseball, once baseball comes around as well. And we're trying to make plans for a big football conclusion show at some point as well. Hopefully, once we get that figured out, we'll announce it so people can be a part of that also. All right. Ryan, what are you doing for Thanksgiving, man?
I'm actually getting to go home. So
going home. Is this the first time in a couple years?
First time in at least 3 years.
Oh, I bet Mama's happy.
Yeah, my grandma's already cooking and everything. Everybody's excited.
I love it. I got my in-laws coming in. They'll be here tomorrow, and they'll be here for about a week. So I might come down to Tennessee and hang out with you guys for a little bit. But nonetheless, so I want to say to all of our listeners, happy Thanksgiving. And we're excited about getting some time off of work and spending time with family. It's always a good time. And I hope you all get to do the same as well. We always appreciate you listening to the program and sharing it if you enjoyed it. And we're looking forward to what's ahead. We got plenty of content coming your way, lots of things going on. And we continue to do our best to make it better and better every time. So thanks for sticking with us through the football season. Like I said, we will announce once we can figure out some details, exactly what we're doing. I've got some fun ideas that hopefully we can bring to fruition as well. I got the official invite, Ryan. There it is. So I'll be down. I'll tell you what, Coach, I'll be down there in February. Maybe we'll hook up when I'm down there. It's been fun. It's not over yet, though. We got a long ways to go. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Sports Stove. We're not necessarily a news breaking program, but we are trying to get ahead on some of these things and try to find the truth out and produce the truth as well. So as we do, we'll keep you informed on anything that we've got going on, especially with EKU sports. We want to say welcome, by the way, to Isaac. He's filled the position that was left vacant by Rickson, and he is now at the university. So we'll be working with him. We appreciate his help in getting EB lined up for tonight. And thanks to Ryan for being here and ready to go, even though I was not. And I'm going to dock my pay. So we'll get that taken care of. We didn't talk about Righteous Felon tonight. Righteous Felon, if you're looking for stocking stuffers for Christmas, you need to go to Righteous Felon. RighteousFelon.com. They've got phenomenal jerkies, which reminds me again, I still have 2 packages for Ryan to try. But you can go to RighteousFelon.com. You're going to use the code STOVE15, STOVE15, you're going to get 15% off your purchase. It's already affordable. Go get your new favorite flavor of jerky. Try it out. And if you use that code, they'll know that we sent you. And we would surely appreciate that. Thanks to IPM Pest and Termite and All Around Roofing as well for their support of the program. They're local businesses right here in Central Kentucky. So if you live in the area, make sure you give them a shout. And at the very least, tell them thank you for supporting the Sports Stove Local Hour. Thanks to Ryan. Thanks to EB. Thanks to Steve for giving us some stats today. Coach Ron, Mrs. Bailey, Marilyn Bailey on here as well. Man, we sure appreciate y'all for tuning in. Everybody else for tuning in as well. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Until next time, we'll see you around the Sports Stove.